Morning, Franco.
Hello, how are you? How are you,
Doing
David?
well. Doing well.
You have your coffee?
Yeah. Time to wake up.
Today will be a hot day.
Yeah, right. I think we lucked out at the walk yesterday. It really, we hit it before it got too uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, really enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, it's always pleasant. I got a little sunburn. I don't even realize.
Yeah, I did too. The sun was
Strong.
stronger than I thought.
Yep.
Hello. Yesterday you talked to me about a book about the slavery. Can you give me the name? I want to buy it or to read.
CASTE.
CAST. Cast.
Yep. E.
A final cast. Okay. The author?
Elizabeth. Oh, I've got it right here. Isabel Wilkerson. Here's the
Wilkerson.
book.
Oh, like Wilkerson. Okay.
Wilkerson.
I'm going to the library to see if they have. You go to the library or will you buy?
I bought it. It's a keeper.
Okay.
Got a lot of good information.
Oh yeah, some of these books are really if you look at the the reference on the hand, they really a lot of research they do. They do a lot, and it can be almost a university level study because you go.
She's a journalist, and she won the Pulitzer Prize for journalism. Chicago, I think.
But I think that element, in this book, that is, people think are just kind of a light book, but it goes a lot of work to discover the facts.
Oh yeah.
One second. Maybe it's on the upper level. It's outside. Outside. Ciao. Hello. I'm sorry. I have to give the keys to my wife. She's getting the car.
Morning, Jerry. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Yeah.
Good morning, Joe. I like your tie, Joe.
How's everybody today?
Oh yeah, you're sick, Joe.
What?
You're coughing.
No, I'm clearing my throat.
Oh yeah, a little grappino in the morning, you'll be perfect. My grandfather he said, "You want a glass of water?" Are you crazy? I never got it, making me rust inside. A glass of wine is better.
Now I got that sweet lemony stuff.
Okay.
Lemon juice.
Oh, so it's good.
Limoncello.
Limoncello is limoncello is quite alcoholic. He has probably 12 or 13 or 14 degree of alcohol.
Not the way I make it.
Oh, okay. You make a wonderful wimpy.
45%.
Yes, just to disinfect the bowels, just to disinfect. Alcohol is good.
It kills germs.
Yeah. There is a new anti-COVID system. A couple of. I don't know. You see the people in the Lamont, they were say demonstrating against the governor about the school.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
You know,
But I want to.
what makes me laugh about that is these are
Yeah.
the people that are supposed to protect our kids,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
ourselves, and everything else, the unions, and all rile them up. But these are the people that are the first line that are up there with everybody. Yeah, they're protesting this. It's absurd.
You know, protest
They're
has become a professional protester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you'd think that these would be the first people, to jump to it. You know, whether it's 90% effective, 60% effective, or 45, it's better than zero.
But you know, I don't know. You know, we are probably a different generation. But what was always attracting me, and coming from also from Europe, from Italy, and the USA, the Americans, it was the kindness, the respect of the other people, and the care for the others. In the 50s, 60s, you see from Italy, United States is so far away, and only when I came here. And I realized, on the contrary, in the last 10, 15 years, the selfishness has become impregnated in the character of everybody. Selfishness, self.
Yeah.
That is sad in one way.
Yeah.
Because
there was the movement back a while ago, the Me Too, but this is the me generation. It's all about me.
I and me. Yeah, that's a kind of.
Everybody's putting their what is it? The adjective he, him, she, her. It's I, like you say, I, me.
Yeah, it's a kind of disheartening, because kind of things like that can have great consequences on the future generation. Anyway, besides that, so are you ready for the heat? Today it will be 90 again.
Hey, Joe, have you heard anything new from the church with regard to our October openings? Has anybody heard me?
Yeah, well, the last I heard, Jerry, I spoke to Ann Hart when I was over there last week. And they're still planning on opening up to their congregants in 1st of September, and to us 1st of October. But like she said, they're just staying tuned to what's happening. Subject to reassessment on a daily basis.
All right, because I'm still trying to figure out what the songsters are going to do.
Yeah.
I spoke with, I had contact with Margie earlier this week, and I just told her everything is up in the air. Just didn't know as of yet.
I think that's a fair statement, really.
From the standpoint of what we're going to do, I mean, at this point, all we can do is go on the basis that we will be back together again in October, live. And barring anything unforeseen, which, anything can happen, that's always subject to change, but make our plans accordingly that we're going to be live starting October.
Okay, Margie is trying to plan her schedule, and
but it's going to be, with the, you got to let her know it's all contingent upon.
That's exactly what I said. At this point, things can be very variable and change very easily.
Yeah, I mean, but as far as we're doing, we're planning on moving ahead.
Yeah, even our access to the senior homes that we perform in, that could change also, whether they'll welcome us or say not yet.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, we've got a plan right now on the situation as it is, or as it's, foreseen to be then. I mean, if the residents, centers, tell us they can't give us a day and, anything positive, that's what we're gonna have to go on, and,
Well, I'm
you know,
holding off until.
I mean, if we don't have where we're looking at 5 different nursing homes.
5 or 6 is our usual
Yeah.
venue.
I mean, if we can't get a commitment from the 5 or 6, I mean, 5 out of the 6, let's say, or 4 out of the 6, and the other 2 are, saying they don't, no, I think that's going to be our plans, and the only thing we would have then is our holiday luncheon. And do we continue with the songsters through this year or not? It's a decision that's got to be made on the basis of what we know. I mean, if we can get I'm planning on having a board meeting. Probably on we'll do it on the 15th of September, which is the day that, the day that we pushed our meeting up from Yom Kippur. So right after our meeting, we'll have a board meeting. And if you can get an answer, whether it's a commitment or not, I mean, at least from the nursing homes by then, that'll help us make an ultimate decision.
I'll try, but I
Yeah.
thought that I would be holding off beyond September even to contact the homes. But yeah, I can see what the situation is as of now, but I'm sure they'll give me the same kind of answer that as of today, it's going to be this, but it could change tomorrow.
Well, I mean, that's something that we can, at least something that we can go on to try and make
Okay.
an uneducated, educated decision.
Okay, the more it changes, the more it changes.
Yeah.
In all these things on the nursing home, I know there is the outside authority, work on parameters, things like that. But what is concerning me is the resident. Do the resident are willing to have a risk to have outside people? That's also that element we should inquire. My feeling, more you become closer, less you are prone to accept outside people.
I think it's more the management decision rather than the residents.
Yes.
Hopefully the management will decide for the best interest of the residents, whether or not they're going to open their homes up to outside individuals coming in, especially, performing.
Well, if you're talking about assisted living facilities rather than nursing homes, I can tell you, having been to 2 of them within the last couple weeks, that they have outside people coming in. The residents had a singer in the lobby with their residents there when I went to see somebody there on Saturday.
Where was this, Dick?
At the residence.
Oh, at
on
the
Summer
residence. I'm
Street.
sorry. Yes, of course.
And Atria had a schedule where they had somebody coming in also. So they're doing it. When you go there, they have you going through, a 7-item questionnaire of who you've been in contact with, cruises and all that sort of thing. So I would assume that they would have each of the members of the of the choir having to go through that.
I don't think that's a problem. Thank you. That's good information. I didn't know that those 2 places where we do perform are welcoming at this point. I'll start to contact them.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if it's a one-off person as opposed to 10 people,
That might be different.
Right.
It might be. It might be. I'll see. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we can get some, even if they tell us they don't know, at least we have something to.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jerry.
No problem.
And since there's 1, 2, 3, 4 board members here, is having a board meeting on the 15th. Okay with you guys after our meeting?
Put it in the calendar.
Sure.
Okay. Then
15.
we'll plan on, I'll send something out to everybody.
That's
All right, I have a senior center finance committee meeting at 1 o'clock. So and we haven't had one for a month, so I really should be there.
Is a live meeting?
Pardon me?
Is it gonna be a live meeting or a Zoom meeting?
Zoom meeting, probably,
Oh.
yeah.
So
So I
we'll
can
go
do
from one
both.
Zoom meeting to another Zoom meeting.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's-
well, when I say after our meeting, it'll be 12 o'clock. We'll go, go
Sure.
from our,
That's good.
perfect.
Joe, you said September 15th. That's a Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because the Thursday is
It's Yom Kippur.
Yom
Yeah,
Kippur.
right. So that'll work.
Okay, board meeting on the 15th at noon. That's a regular meeting on the 15th, am I correct?
It's a regular Zoom meeting, yes.
A regular 2-hour situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It'll interfere with our walk, but. you
I
know,
think we can make a concession that week.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of walkers here today, so
We could leave earlier
I was gonna say, Jerry, you got a good idea there.
or later.
Well, we could just walk very fast.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why
early.
we had changed the meeting day is normally we would just cancel a meeting for, on a holy day, but the following week is our picnic. And we meet on the 9th, and then if we didn't have a meeting, we go into the picnic and, I think we needed, it looked like we needed something. And plus we had a speaker that Stu thought was pretty interesting. And if we didn't get that speaker, we wouldn't be able to have him at all. So we conceded to.
If you could switch the walk to Tuesday, I could do the walk.
The walk is flexible.
Yeah, why not?
Talk to, who's that? Whoever's the walk organizer.
Well, I've been filling in for Carl. I'll tell you what I could do, Dick, is I can contact all the regular attendees and
Well, you just get an email out,
Yeah.
when Steve sends out the email.
Mhm.
Love to do it.
Yeah, okay.
I think I also want to tell everybody that on Friday, the 17th is the opening night of 1776 at Curtain Call. And love to see you people there because there'll be at least one member of the Senior Men's Association in the cast.
Who dat?
As star of the show.
It's my advertisement for the day. Now I shut up.
I mean, it's only worth it if you're on stage for more than 3 minutes. I mean, if you're on.
I am on stage for a lot more than 3 minutes.
Okay. It's like when I went up to the cage up at New Haven, my son was running track, and it was, I guess, the state championships, and he was one leg of I think he ran 2 races. And he was part of the 400 relay, and I guess he did the 400 individual. And I sat for 4 hours for a total of 1.5 minutes of him running.
All right.
That's a real father.
And I had to, I had to drive him up to begin with. I said, never again.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Well, it was a senior year. After that, he played baseball at St. Bonaventure, so we'd drive all over the Northeast to watch him play ball. What you don't do for your kids.
Joe Jean Quinto, if you tell Margie,
I will.
tell her that I will comp her a ticket for any night that she would like to come to one of the 13 performances. Or
Thank you.
14 performances. Actually, I could tell her myself. But I put you on the spot, Joe.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Hey, Jose, how are you? He
He's
closed the
leaving.
door. Huh? He closed the door. Yeah.
Remember that song from the 50s, Close the Door, they're coming through the window?
All right, that's a good point.
Close the door, they're climbing up the stairs. He was everything.
I got a question.
Oh,
It's Bill Johnson, and I have a bunch of these Serious stops for people that have hearing aids to stop the wax. Does anybody need some?
What?
They look like that.
Would you see your fist? Put it down a little.
Oh, how's that? Better?
Getting better.
and
Still
what
hard.
it is?
Huh?
What is it? It is.
Well, it's let me open one up.
Oh, this is okay.
See one of these things? Can you see that?
No, put it,
No.
Lower.
Lower, lower.
put it in front of
lower.
your face.
Oh,
There you
that?
go.
There you
Lower.
go.
Yeah. Hey, what
they
is this?
just they absorb the wax that it goes, might get into the hearing aid. And the kind I use now doesn't use this kind of stick thing. But I've got a bunch of them, and they're not cheap, I know. So if somebody needs some, let me know.
Well, all right.
What did you say? Hearing aid? What?
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear
Urinate.
me?
Do you go to the bathroom?
Do I what?
Urine aid or hearing aid?
Hearing aid.
Ah, okay, I was thinking urine aid. Okay. Okay. All right. So you can call 911.
Maybe.
You see, when you don't hear well, that's a problem.
If anybody needs some of these things, I don't know, maybe Steve will want to send it up. But, they're called Serious stops.
Okay. But
Okay.
all right, good point.
I got a dryer for hearing aids if you want it, because I don't use it anymore also. And I may even have some 312 batteries if anybody wants them, because I now recharge mine.
But you plug yours? Okay.
Yeah.
So we need a market for trading old devices.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know, talking about batteries, if you go to CVS or Walgreens to buy hearing aid batteries, it costs like $10 for one pack.
And there's
However, it's only $8 at Costco for 6 packs.
Probably they are uncharged that one of the Costco.
Hmm?
They are empty battery at Costco.
Oh,
You never know.
if you go to the VA, it's free.
Yep.
but you have to scream a lot. But you have to scream a lot to get them.
Yeah.
But you have to spend 2 years in the army to go to the VA.
Zoom call.
Oh, Alan,
Hey, Alan.
is today the day that you said, since this is our last meeting, you were going to play the guitar for us?
Oh, Alan, I see. Yeah.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Alan.
I was on another meeting for the Veterans Park and it got closed up early, so here I am. And the answer is no, I'm not playing guitar today.
But did you go to the did you
I'm
go to the
practicing
park?
with my grandson.
But, Al, do you go to the
Yes.
park? To the park downtown? Do you go downtown to?
I'm a board member on the Veterans
Yes,
Park.
but did you at the meeting downtown or on Zoom?
A Zoom.
Okay. Okay.
How they coming along with Veterans Park?
Well, I mean, they've missed the first 5 deadline dates.
Well, that's
There's
It's
too
okay.
many people involved, and you don't know anything about how the government works, do you, Joe?
not at all.
No, no.
Not a bit.
The Urban Redevelopment Commission still owns part of the property. The city of Stamford is responsible for all the checks, even the checks that we get in from other people, such as Rexon that owns 101 Broad. They own the big building. This is
Yeah.
their backyard. They gave us $1 million, but the city gets to spend it. We don't. So it's all inside out and backwards, and they're paying people before jobs are finished. You
Yeah.
never heard of that before either, did you, Joe?
No.
No.
So
How-
it's very, very slow. And we
Now,
have,
where's that money going? Is that going into the general city fund?
I don't know. Rick Redness knows how to handle this stuff. I don't know anything about the money.
Because I know when we, with the parks, any monies, you know, there a lot of groups or parts of the city would get money and it would go directly to their account.
Yes.
However, when it came to parks, any money that came into parks went to the general fund. And then parks would have to put in their budget just like anybody else and whatever the city would give them. And since parks were not a vital service, so to speak, in the eyes of
Yeah,
people in finance and whatnot, they got short shrifted.
right. It's not the police and fire department, it's parks.
Well, I'm not even the police and fire department. It's not the handout
Yeah.
areas. More important to give handouts than to have the city run smoothly.
I'm telling you. So Rick Redness, as you know, is very familiar with how to do this, but we have no punch. We have no power.
Yeah.
The builders and contractors keep making delays and we have to go along with them.
Overall, Al, the park came out quite well. You know, I think it's an achievement. You know, you
Oh.
cannot complain
Yeah,
too
no,
much.
Franco, it's a beautiful, beautiful park, but it was supposed
Yeah.
to be completed just before COVID for Memorial Day in 2020. And
Yeah.
yeah, here we are a year and a half later and it's not done.
You know, Al and everybody, you know, the COVID, there will be a good escape for a lot of a delay. You know, oh, I had the COVID, I had the COVID, I had the COVID. For 10, for 15 years, we are going to hear the same story. So it was a COVID.
Got a point, got a point. So all I am is on the board member. As an artist and designer, I try to make sure that the pavers are the correct font and size and that kind of stuff. And I had a lot to do with the original layout. They get-
In case, Alan, in case the mall building that is behind the park, that could be risked to be knocked down because there is no business in the mall. There is a contingency plan architecturally how to maintain the view and the beauty of the park.
As far as we know, because they're on the board also, you give $1 million, you get on the board. I, by the way, did not give $1 million.
Okay.
I wasn't in the meeting when I was voted on. I'm sure none of you experienced that either. You have to go to every meeting, otherwise you get voted on boards. No, the shopping center is going to remain. The mall is going to remain. It might change hands, it might become other things, you know, but it will remain.
But are you sure? Because you know, commercially, you know, if you every 3 or 4 weeks I'm going there, I see a shop closing after the other. There's no clients, no people. What do they do? Parking lot, building apartment, what do they do? So that means require an incredible structural change of access, everything. And therefore the park, you know, the veteran park can be get the bulldozer too.
I'll tell you what, Franco, you can run this and we'll have housing for the Afghanistan refugees. That's your business.
I know. I bet it could be a good business. Yeah, good business. The refugees and the other things are very good now. Well, anyway, I went, you know, talking about something, you know, I went back to the State Department library and the UN Security Council, and I pulled out the original agreement between Trump and the others, and I can tell you, I didn't see any press, liberal or more conservative, really presenting to the public the content of this agreement. And if you read them, not only you lose your hair, but you lose your passions on how, when it's convenient for everybody, things are completely presented in a different way. For instance, the question of the 20th of March, 29th of March, when the agreement was signed, in the agreement, there is no mention to the Afghan people to be ferried out after the departure. One. Second, the Security Council in 10 of 20 agreed completely. That means China and Russia, they completely agreed to all these things. So really, the press has not given a deserving service to the people and explain what's really happened. And now we see this tragedy unfold in front of us. Yesterday, I heard from Italy that an Italian airplane C-30 was shut down, got to be under fire at the moment it was taking off. So, you know, you need one bullet to go in an engine, it is a tragedy. And then escalating everything up.
There was a bombing today at the Kabul airport about an hour ago. And that should really add to the confusion.
Oh yeah, of course. At the end, there is an incredible volatile situation for all parties. Life is not easy sometimes. So have you seen that article that was in New York Times today about the flood in Tennessee?
No.
Are the people withdrawing?
yeah, the people, the rainfall and particular things, and the, say, the speed due to management. Sometimes the rivers has to be left with a cover on the side instead of it becoming a highway. It's enough to create a few channels of a highway. The speed of the water is incredible, and therefore, you get a disaster. So, but it's an interesting article about hydrological management. Is important for event of the water, so flash flood.
Record amounts of rain, right? Like
Oh, was it at one point? Was it 12 inches in 1 hour in one place? Can you imagine? It's like to open your bathtub with a big hole, and then you have a flood downstairs. Whatever it is.
Yeah, that's last week. Didn't they have 17 inches in Tennessee?
Yeah, 17. At one point, so, can you imagine? 17 inches is a lot of rain. You multiply by a square foot, you see how much water you can create. And then what is interesting with the flood is what we call the time between a drop fell in a hill and the time pass downstream on the field. If there is a forest, if it's well managed, the water can slow the speed. But if it becomes a slope, more slope, the speed increases. So therefore, the force, the strength of the water impact is incredible.
What is very interesting is how a storm 20 miles away takes a turn and you don't get affected by it.
It was amazing, isn't it?
I was in the Virgin Islands and it was raining to the left of me and the sun was out to the right of me.
Yeah. That's the tropical storm is a very, very typical.
Oh, you'll see that in Houston a lot. On the highway, you could be traveling in one direction in the rain, and the opposite direction is in sunlight.
Right.
Because the rain comes comes straight down.
Right.
And, I was traveling from Houston to Galveston, and you can see up ahead going to Galveston. It was gray, and we were in sunlight. And up here, you'll get a period of maybe a minute or so of light rain or anything else. And it was just like sunlight into heavy rain. And then by the time we hit Galveston Island, it was sun again. Yeah, it's amazing. But the fact New York City was getting 8 and 9 inches of rain, and the eastern part of the state was getting heavy rains, and we were just in that center, so to speak, the eye, if you want to call it, whatever it was. And we got only a couple of inches of rain. They say total was 3.5 for the 2 days.
But
and I don't even think we got that much.
No, but not too much, honestly. But this. Somebody's talking.
What was interesting was that Central Park, where they were having a concert, got such a deluge of rain, they had to cancel the rest of it. That we didn't have that type of climate situation.
In the Bronx, the Yankee game got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were, and even the next day, it was no wind. We got lucky.
My biggest fear is trees coming down.
Yeah, the tree then also is a question of having roots already wet, so therefore you are
Right.
prone to fall down easier. Mhm.
Eh,
Mm.
what else is coming up that's
There's going to be another COVID surge. I don't know if you saw, remember about 3-4 weeks ago, they had the event in South Dakota, Sturgis, the motorcyclist.
Yes.
That happened yesterday, started yesterday, I thought.
Right, and there've already been 450 COVID cases reported from that event. In fact, it's gotten so bad in Florida, the only way you can get a bed is if someone dies.
Oh yeah, no, true. But also in Florida, I saw that 700 or 70 doctors walk out from the hospital because it's enough, it's enough. You know, people are not vaccinated, we cannot help them.
Well, I have a grandson who is an emergency room doctor in Florida at the University of Florida. And they're asking the people to work 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you do? He says, I get done. I take off my whole gear, put it in a laundry bag, go home, I shower and wash. And he says that that's the best I can do to keep away from the virus. And he had to sign off for 5 deaths. And he said within an hour, those 5 beds were now occupied.
yeah.
I don't know. Historically,
But most of these, from what I just saw, 97% of the people were unvaccinated that are getting it.
yeah, it's true.
And that's a
I
big
mean,
number.
and they say it doesn't. It's a government ploy. It doesn't exist.
I've got two,
I don't give a damn if you're liberal, progressive, conservative, or whatever the hell you are. I mean, facts are facts. I mean, wake up. People should wake up and smell the roses, or don't wake up and push up the daisies.
Joe,
I've got 2 reservations for a plane. I've got 2 reservations for a plane to Phoenix in September, if anybody wants them. We have a timeshare in Sedona, Arizona, and in the last 2 weeks, every week, the increase is there, and they're up to 12% positivity rate. So we are going to cancel our reservation, and I'd be happy to give you our plane reservations if you want them.
Yeah, we're talking about visiting our son in October in Myrtle Beach and flying down. So I don't know.
But what is you, Joe? You said to say, but damn, you are saying these people are. I would say the level of intelligence is, just below a monkey, probably. Sometimes, really, they don't think, they don't have the critical understanding that reality is made by science, observation, deductions, and we are dealing with people who live in a world that is, I don't know what it is. They are thinking every day, but I don't think there is too much thinking between every year, in my view.
I don't know. For me, it's hard to comprehend. I mean,
But
you know,
you can,
I built chemical plants, and
real,
the degree of safety that we put into these plants, in the event that
Yeah.
something happens, we put redundancies, we put safeties, we put whatever you want to call it. We built these plants to be safe, and thankfully nothing happens, but we spend a lot of money for safety. And you know, so these people come out and say, yeah, but I said, but what? You know, if you design things to be ultra safe, and here we're asking you to be safe and be the safety of others, but they look at it like, you know, it's my body, it's my life, I can do what I want. Yeah, but you're not affecting only yourself, you're affecting everybody around you.
And
Is
how
this
about,
still-
and
is
how
this
about
still-
how about the police of Stamford who say that they shouldn't be told what to do by the mayor about having to test or to get inoculation?
Oh, Dick,
Talking
that's what-
about dealing with the public.
Dick, we said that early on. One of the first things we were talking about was the police, the union, the fire, the teachers that are objecting to all of this, and they're the ones that are frontline people dealing with kids, with people, with, you know.
And in Staten Island, the nurses didn't want, or the people working in the Staten Island biggest hospital didn't want to get inoculated. It makes no sense.
It doesn't. It absolutely not. And like I said, I don't care what the hell
No, I agree.
political. It's not political anymore. It's. I don't know. I just don't. I can't understand. You know. I
Hey,
mean,
Joe,
people,
some people don't go to a dentist for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years.
well, I haven't gone to a dentist for a number of years.
How many times you got your
but
See?
I can just bring them my teeth.
you mail them in?
No, but you know, it's, yeah. I mean, people that, and some of these people are, you know, and it's not even the COVID. Some of these people just, they have problems, medical problems, and they won't go to a doctor because, oh, he's going to find something. Well, God, there is something wrong. Let him find out what it is. And sometimes, you know, there's a cure for what your problem is, and you don't have to suffer. You just don't understand people. The older I get, I think the more cynical I'm getting.
Hey, Dick Fisher, it's Joe John Quinto. Dick, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to Seattle on scheduled for September 9th, and my wife and I canceled because of some fear of possible reoccurrence of the COVID. We were able to get a credit on any Delta flight for that amount of money, and we were able to use it to go to South Carolina. So you might want to look into it, depending on what airline you have, of course. Did you try it?
Dick, you're muted.
I actually did it. Thank you, Joe. This morning, I have the credit rules for United, and on Friday, we make the final decision, but thank you. It's good for a year.
Yeah, mine was good for until December 2022, a little over a year.
I did the same thing last year to go to Albuquerque. I canceled, got a credit, and what they told me, in order to extend the credit, make another booking and they cancel again a few weeks before the expiration of the credit. And the work is now almost 1.5 years. I still have that credit.
Yeah.
But going back to Joe, what Joe said, that you don't understand those people. I was just to tell you a little story. My wife, she's a voluntary of the hospital at the emergency room in Stamford. She's just started a little voluntary. She went there, all protected, all vaccinated, and the reception and the guard, they were say, oh, we are not vaccinated. We are very proud not to be vaccinated and working in a hospital. What is the hospital authority requiring people that work for them to be vaccinated? That is out of my understanding.
I thought that didn't the hospital go to demanding or mandating that
Yes,
everybody be?
they said, the guy said, oh, I'm not going to vaccinate him because I'm a free man. I'll say, you know, I am basically 1776 was his birthday, basically. You know, mentality of completely incoherent.
Yeah. They're violating their civil rights.
Yeah, civil rights. I don't know, Adamo and Eve. I don't know, I don't know what it is. I don't. Really, I think that's one of, to be objective, is a lack of what I call the public education, starting from age 2 to age 99. There is no public education on things, only screaming. So an objective public education on how behavior people should be part of everyday, like take a pill every day.
You know, yeah, but Franco, you're talking about a situation there with maybe minimal education. There are people with college degrees that have been fully educated that are saying the same thing.
Yeah, I understand.
You know,
I understand that.
If their civil rights are being violated, aren't they violating our civil rights by not doing it?
Yes, your right to be safe has been jeopardized by the behavior of somebody who wants his own personal right to be safe. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you know, the common good is more important than individual good.
I mean, so take it a step further. This is the conservative part of me coming out. Take it a step further. If somebody's going to come and attack me to do me harm, I have the right to protect myself.
Of course.
Now, these people that are not vaccinated are there to do me harm. Can I protect myself the same way if somebody's coming into?
Yes, I think if we should go to buy some little knife or gun.
I take it logically one step, move it up. Can I logically protect myself from protecting my rights to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness?
Just don't touch anybody.
No, I can do it from, you know, 25 yards away, 25 feet away, you know, at 1,200 feet per second. I don't have to be that close. Dave, stop laughing.
I love it, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Joe,
Watch it.
I'm going to have to leave, but I'm going to laugh all the way. Take care, everybody.
You too.
Hey, Joe, just remember, this is being recorded. Better have this wiped off.
Maybe I should stick around and see what else is going to be said.
You don't have to stick around. It's being recorded.
It's recorded. I can watch it. Thanks, Dick.
Oh, boy. Let's see. Can I? All right.
So I will speak up for my wife, who is involved with the Stamford group that has resettled an Afghan family. It's now going on 2 years, and they have made a bid for 2 more families to come into Stamford. Eventually, if they come in, they will be looking for housing and then for furniture and probably some money. So if that comes around, I will be making a plea to the group at that time. I just wanted to put you on notice, all 11 of you.
Oh, there's only 10 of us now. Yeah. No, it's, I mean, what Franco was saying earlier about there's no obligation in the agreement for, you know,
Yeah.
but I think we owe it to some of these people that have put their, you know, lives at stake. You know, the idea with the agreement is that they, you know, somebody had their head in the sand that they were going to form a stable government in Afghanistan.
It's a weird, you know, I look at again that agreement from the eyes of my professional experience with the UN. And I was surprised that Panetta and the company really went ahead without trying to put all the three parties at the same table before signing separated agreement. It's one of the principles in diplomacy. In order to get a result, you have to make common points among parties and build on that common points. And that arrogance of a Panetta and you know, sitting on Dawa and have a picture of taken with that fog that is a Taliban. I think I'm sure is was arrested by CIA also at one point. Denote to me like as a country we have been betrayed by a group of people that they didn't think a sense about anything, anybody, just their own interest, selling arm or getting oil. And that makes me sad because those individuals that have been interpreted or people that are trying to do a better job for the kids to study, the girls, deserve to be protected. You know, it would have very easily to put the clause in that agreement, as well as NGO that have received the grant money from the UN, from the USA, they should be subject to the right to get out if they want of the country. Just 2 lines, it would have saved the life of 1 million people. Yeah, that's is I don't know. That's really.
But that would have admitted the fact that they weren't going to form a stable government after all of that.
I understand.
And that was they didn't want to understand. I mean, not that they didn't want to understand. They didn't want to admit the fact that it was not going to be a stable government. So you can't put a contingency clause in for something that you think is not going to happen.
Yeah. So
or
that's
you
basically.
don't, you know.
Yeah, somebody is interested, I have a copy I can send. You can read at your leisure. If you are a normal person, said, what damn these things happen, not because the present or the past, because of arrogance in treating over culture, over people, and to say I do what I want. That's sad to me.
It's not just about diplomacy, it's about political expediency, and that whether it was Trump or it's now Biden, they've got to look at the political side of it as well. And unfortunately, it doesn't always come out with the best answer when you do that.
But you see the political side, Afghanistan, unfortunately, is in the hand of the drug cartel and the production of the opium. The opium represents is a 70%, 90% of the GDP, and over which this money goes and also on the pharmaceutical. And then there is, of course, these rare minerals that China is very happy to get there. So a stable Afghanistan, a proper partner in international commerce, it would be good. But if he's under the ground with gangs and smuggling, of course, you cannot have a proper relationship. And then overall, There's an historical element in that country, part of the world, of a tribalism for which you need 5 generations to overcome.
Well, you look at the countries that surround Afghanistan and they run the same kind of an
Oh, yeah.
operation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the same. There's no difference. Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Iran to Iraq is all the same. The same. It's a kind of a.
The idea of democracy building there, it just didn't make sense.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
we see
you know,
from
how
it.
many speakers have we had in the past couple of years that say, I mean, former State Department or analysts
Yeah.
or whatever they were. I mean, you knew this was going to happen. I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, if it comes as a surprise to anybody, haven't been listening. I mean, it's
Yeah.
well, history. You learn from history, and we didn't. Now we're, you know, hopefully, I was caught a snippet of one of the news stations, and the concern is 2 things that they are not doing right now is looking to, you know, take care of the situation in Afghanistan, as well as closing up the southern border, because the feeling is that the Taliban and ISIS and whatnot are going to start filtering through in the southern border because it's wide open.
I don't think it's not going to be the Taliban. The Taliban doesn't have worldwide views like ISIS did.
Well, I mean, ISIS, Taliban, Al Qaeda, whoever, whatever you know you want to call it.
Okay, terrorists.
Exactly. Middle Eastern terrorists. And you know, that's scary. I mean, having these people, you know.
Well, you can't just talk about the southern border because they come in through Canada as well, and we've tried to cut off Canada, but there's a lot of
well, whatever the, you know,
boundaries.
I mean, right now the southern border is wholesale coming in. I mean, it's by numbers, and you know, I guess they can pass for Guatemalans and Mexicans easier than Canadians.
Yeah, but there's more border patrol in the south than there would be along the Canadian border or even coming in by water. So if they want to get in here, I don't think they would go through the south. It's too easy to get caught. It's easier to get across in Montana or someplace like that. You got to read some of these spy books where they'll tell you how to get across.
Tell you how to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in Montana, it's true, because I was once at the border. I went to pee in a bush. I was in Canada, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I often wondered, you know, you go over the Peace Bridge or you go over the Rainbow Bridge, and
yeah, I know, but then
you can walk over the border 10 miles away.
No, but it's a very, I'll say, you know, the north part is, you know, 10,000 miles, something like that, the north border. I'm sure there is some spot is empty, you know, you can go through, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
The guys for 9/11 came through Canada.
Yeah, that's one thing. It came with the tickets in an airplane, you know, also. Not only came, listen.
My son lives in Burlington, Vermont, and when we were up there, I think it was last August, there was an article in the paper about how a couple towns on the Canadian-Vermont border where they had previously just walked across because one had a delicatessen and the other one didn't. It's now been closed off. And so they're trying to cut it off from that standpoint, and they're cutting off the relationship of town against town, but at least they're aware that the possibility of people coming across there is there.
Uh,
Eh.
This too shall pass, hopefully.
Oh, you will pass. Don't worry,
It's-
Joe.
Yeah.
It will pass.
Inshallah,
Inshallah. How you say?
inshallah. Okay.
Okay, guys, it's 11 o'clock and I want to thank everybody who has been with us during the summer, and I think it was great. We had some good
Thank-
discussions, and we're still friends. And
If I see you at the supermarket, I give you a kick.
Thank you, Joe, for doing it.
well, it's all of us. I mean, we felt there was enough guys that wanted to participate, and I'm glad you were all able to come and join us for an hour a week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at a regularly scheduled
Meeting.
Senior Men's Association meeting, and I guess we got a interesting speaker, and we'll go from there. And hopefully, then a month later, after the picnic, we'll be live. I mean, we had a guys on the board. There was we formed a subcommittee to see how we could handle Zoom or not Zoom or live meetings, and what we would do. And the guys did come up with some good recommendations that I'll pass out with the agenda. And at that point, we'll come up with our formal plans of moving forward in October. And I think, everybody will be happy with what we're doing, and go from there. So again, thanks. And Bob, just a reminder, log, when you come on there, there's a little button that says leave the meeting, and you click on that. Do you see that, Bob?
Yeah, no, I got it.
So if you would do that, and then we'll all leave. Okay, have a great week, guys.
Stay healthy.
2
Bye.
weeks, and have a good Labor Day weekend.